Commander Jack Morrison pushed his thruster pack forward. His patrol ship had picked up the emergency beacon 20 minutes ago. Now he floated through the debris field that used to be Europa Station. Bodies drifted past his helmet, frozen solid. Men, women, children, their faces locked in final moments of terror. Ice crystals covered their skin. Their eyes stared at nothing. 50,000 people had lived here. Now they tumbled through space like broken dolls. Jack grabbed a piece of the station hull. Burnt into the metal were alien symbols. His translator converted them instantly. Inferior species submit or perish. The Krellian Empire had done this. During peace talks, during negotiations for mining rights, Jack's second-in-command, Lieutenant Adams, spoke through the comm. "Sir, I count at least 50,000 bodies, the entire colony." "They vented them into space while they were alive," Jack said. His voice stayed flat, professional, but his hands shook as he reached for a small object floating nearby. A child's toy. A plastic soldier, the kind his own son played with back on Earth. "Get me a direct line to Earth Defense Command," Jack said. "Priority 1. The journey back to Earth took 6 hours. Jack didn't speak. He held the toy in his hand the entire time. The Global Defense Council had already assembled when Jack arrived at the underground bunker in Geneva. 20 of Earth's most powerful leaders sat around a polished table. Ambassador Marcus Cole stood at the front, speaking in his calm, diplomatic voice. "We must consider our response carefully," Cole said. "The Krellians have superior technology. Their shields can withstand our best weapons, perhaps if we negotiate compensation for the families affected." Jack kicked open the door. His magnetic boots clanged against the metal floor. Everyone turned. "Commander Morrison," Cole said, "this is a closed session." Jack walked to the table. He placed the frozen toy in the center. Ice crystals fell from it onto the polished surface. "That belonged to a 6-year-old girl," Jack said. "She died screaming in vacuum while the Krellians watched." "Commander, we understand your emotion, but we must think rationally," Cole said. "Rationally?" Jack pulled up his wrist display. The hologram showed the massacre. Bodies floating. Children clutching their parents. They killed 50,000 civilians during peace talks. They left a message calling us inferior. General Sarah Kim leaned forward. "What are you suggesting, Commander?" Jack looked at each face around the table. "They think we're weak because we follow rules, because we show mercy, because we try to be civilized." He picked up the toy. "They killed our children. Now we stop being civilized." The room went silent. President David Chen spoke first. "That's not who we are." "It's exactly who we are," Jack said. "We just pretend otherwise. The Krellians want to see what humans really are? Let's show them." General Kim stood. "I call for a vote. Total war authorization." One by one, hands raised. Cole was the last. His hand trembled as it went up. Unanimous. President Chen nodded to Jack. "Commander Morrison, you are now Strategic Operations Commander. Do whatever is necessary." Jack turned and walked toward the door. General Kim called after him. "Where are you going?" "Sub-level 9, Jack said. Everyone knew what was in Sub-level 9. The vault. The weapons they sealed after the Third World War. The things too terrible to use. Jack placed his hand on the scanner. The massive door began to open. Behind him, the council members stood to watch. "Gentlemen," Jack said as lights flickered on, revealing rows of black containers. "Let me introduce you to what we really are when we stop pretending." The vault lights revealed horrors that should have stayed buried. Black containers lined the walls, each marked with red warning labels. Antimatter bombs, consciousness shredders, viral nanobots that could eat through any material in seconds. Jack walked between the rows. Behind him, the council members followed in silence. "These are war crimes," Ambassador Cole whispered. "Not anymore," Jack said. He stopped at a terminal and entered his authorization code. Dr. Foster, report to Vault 9. 10 minutes later, Dr. Ryan Foster arrived. The thin scientist looked like he hadn't slept in days. His lab coat had coffee stains, but his eyes were sharp. "Commander Morrison," Foster said, "I assume this is about Project Prometheus." "Tell them," Jack said. Foster pulled up a holographic display. Stars appeared in the air, thousands of points of light. "For the past 50 years we've been building a secret fleet. Every cargo ship, every transport, every mining vessel we sent into space had a second purpose." The display changed. The cargo ships transformed. Weapon ports opened. Armor plating extended. Shield generators activated. 10,000 warships, Foster said, hidden in plain sight. "The Krellians think we have 300 military vessels. They're wrong." General Kim studied the display. "How did we keep this secret?" "Because humans are good at lying," Foster said. "It's our greatest talent. We smile while we sharpen knives." Jack pointed to a star system on the map. "Theta 7. Krellian supply world. 3 billion military personnel. Main production center for their fleet." "You want to attack their supply line," President Chen said. "I want to erase it," Jack said. "No occupation, no prisoners, complete annihilation." Lieutenant Commander Steve Rodriguez stepped forward. He was young, maybe 30. His uniform was perfect. His voice shook. "Sir, 3 billion people. Even if they're military, this is genocide." Jack turned to face him. "They killed 50,000 civilians. Children, babies. You want to follow rules they don't respect?" "We're supposed to be better than them," Rodriguez said. "Better got our children spaced into vacuum," Jack said. He picked up one of the black containers. "They wanted to see humanity without rules. Let's show them." The preparation took 12 hours. 500 ships gathered at the Mars staging point. Each one carried planet-killer weapons. The crews were volunteers. Every single one had lost someone at Europa Station. Jack stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Washington. The view screen showed the assembled fleet. Sleek destroyers, massive battleships, all painted black. All armed with weapons that violated every treaty humanity had ever signed. Captain Derek Hunt stood beside him. The older man had served for 20 years. "The Krellian Empire has 47 star systems, superior shields, better faster-than-light drives. This could take years." "No," Jack said. "It ends in days. We hit hard. We hit fast. We don't stop. The other alien races will condemn us," Hunt said. "Let them." The fleet powered up their drives. Space bent around them as they prepared to jump. Rodriguez approached with a data pad. His face was pale. "Commander, we have a problem." Jack took the pad. Long-range sensors had detected Krellian ships at 20 frontier colonies. Human colonies. "They're taking hostages," Rodriguez said. 200,000 people. They're broadcasting the executions live. They say they'll kill them all if we attack. The bridge went quiet. Everyone waited for Jack's order. Jack handed back the pad. "Continue to target. Those people are already dead." Rodriguez stepped back. "Sir, we could try to rescue them." "And lose the element of surprise?" Jack shook his head. "The Krellians made their choice. Now we make ours. All ships, jump on my mark." The fleet vanished into hyperspace, leaving behind only the cold light of distant stars. The human fleet emerged from hyperspace at Theta 7. 500 black ships against a blue-green world. The Krellian defense fleet scrambled to respond. 300 vessels formed a defensive line. Too late. Jack stood on the Washington's bridge. "Deploy the swarm." From the belly of each human ship, black clouds emerged. Billions of nanobots, each smaller than a grain of sand. They moved like smoke through space, reaching the Krellian ships in seconds. The enemy shields meant nothing. The nanobots passed through them like they weren't there. Then they began to eat. Metal dissolved. Hull plates turned to dust. A Krellian battleship tried to fire its main cannon. The weapon crumbled before it could shoot. The crew inside screamed as their ship disappeared around them. 300 ships became floating debris in 4 minutes. The Krellian Ground Command sent a transmission. Admiral Vex appeared on screen. His 4 arms trembled. His purple skin had gone pale. "We surrender. We invoke galactic law. You must accept our surrender." Jack stepped forward. "Galactic law? You mean the same law that protects civilians during negotiations? That was a military decision. We can discuss reparations." "You voided those laws at Europa," Jack said. He turned to his weapons officer. "Begin surface bombardment." The planet's defense satellites fired at the human fleet. The shots bounced off their shields. Human ships returned fire with antimatter missiles. Each explosion carved chunks from the planet's surface. Cities burned. Military bases became craters. The oceans boiled. "Please," Admiral Vex begged. 3 billion souls. We have children here too." "So did Europa Station," Jack said. He cut the transmission. 17 minutes. That's how long it took to turn Theta 7 into glass. The surface temperature reached 4,000 degrees. Nothing lived. Nothing could ever live there again. The human fleet jumped to the next target, then the next. 3 more Krellian worlds burned in 2 days. The galaxy watched in horror. News feeds on 100 worlds showed the same images. Human ships appearing. Planets dying. No mercy. No hesitation. Captain Derek Hunt found Jack in his ready room, studying star charts. "Sir, we intercepted Krellian military communications." Hunt handed over a data pad. Jack read it twice. His jaw tightened. "They planned this," Hunt said. "The Europa Massacre was supposed to make us angry enough to attack, but not like this. They expected a limited response. A few battles. Then they'd counterattack and justify enslaving Earth." "They miscalculated," Jack said. "They didn't know what we really were," Hunt agreed. The door chimed. Lieutenant Rodriguez entered. "Commander, we have visitors." 3 aliens stood on the bridge. The Vazon Collective. Peaceful traders. Neutral in all conflicts. Their spokesperson, a tall being with silver skin, stepped forward. "Commander Morrison, I am Zelos. We offer our services as mediators." "There's nothing to mediate," Jack said. "The Krellians will agree to any terms. They'll pay reparations. They'll give up territory." "They'll give up existing," Jack said. "This ends when they end." Zelos took a step back. "You're talking about xenocide, the complete extinction of a species." "Yes. The galaxy won't stand for this." Jack pulled up a tactical display. "The galaxy can try to stop us." Zelos left without another word. An hour later, Rodriguez returned with an urgent message from Admiral Chen on Earth. Her face was grim on the view screen. "Jack, we have a problem. The Krellians have allied with the Zerath Dominion. They're assembling the largest fleet in galactic history. 50,000 ships. They're heading for Earth." The bridge crew looked worried. Rodriguez's hands shook. Jack smiled. It was a cold expression. No warmth, no humor. "Good," he said. "Now we can kill them all at once." Jack gathered his commanders in the war room. The holographic display showed 50,000 enemy ships approaching Earth. Red dots filled the screen like a plague. "They'll be here in 6 hours," Captain Hunt said. Jack walked to a sealed console. He placed his hand on the scanner. "Authorization, Morrison Alpha 77. The console opened. Inside was a single black key. "Project Ragnarok," Jack said. "Every human ship carries one of these. A dimensional bomb. It creates a controlled black hole that lasts 40 seconds. Commander Eric Black leaned forward. Black was a veteran pilot. 30 years of service, gray hair, and steady hands. "That's a suicide weapon. The ship firing it gets pulled in too." "Yes," Jack said. The room went quiet. "You're asking us to die," Rodriguez said. "I'm asking you to make their death worth something," Jack corrected. One ship can take 100 of theirs. Black stood up. My squadron will take point position. Eric, you have a family, Hunt said. Had, Black corrected. They were on Europa Station. One by one, other commanders stood. Each one volunteered their ships for suicide runs. No one hesitated. The enemy fleet dropped out of hyperspace 3 hours later. 50,000 ships darkened the space around Earth. Krellian destroyers, Zerath dreadnoughts, ships from 12 different species that wanted humans gone. Earth's 500 ships looked pathetic in comparison. The Krellian flagship broadcast a message. Supreme Admiral Krell appeared on every screen. Surrender now. You are outnumbered 100 to 1. Jack appeared on their screens. The entire enemy fleet could see him. You wanted to see humanity unleashed. Congratulations. Your 500 ships against our 50,000. You've lost your mind. We haven't lost anything, Jack said. We just stopped pretending to be something we're not. The battle began. Human ships accelerated to maximum speed. No formations, no tactics. Just pure aggression. They flew straight into the enemy fleet. The destroyer Boston took 100 hits. Its shields failed. Hull breached. The crew kept flying. Captain Morris aimed for a Krellian command ship. The Boston exploded on impact. The antimatter core detonation took 6 enemy ships with it. The Chicago rammed through 3 Zerath cruisers before detonating. The Miami's crew sang Earth's anthem as they crashed into an enemy carrier. Then Eric Black led his squadron into the heart of the enemy formation. 20 ships flying in perfect sync. The enemy focused all fire on them. Shields collapsed. Armor melted. They kept going. Now, Black said over the comm. 20-dimensional bombs activated at once. Space tore apart. 20 black holes appeared in the middle of the enemy fleet. Ships stretched and twisted as gravity pulled them in. Screaming metal. Breaking hulls. The black holes merged into bigger ones. A chain reaction of destruction. 30,000 enemy ships vanished in 2 minutes. The surviving 20,000 pulled back. They couldn't believe what they'd seen. Humans deliberately killing themselves to kill them. Then a new ship appeared. Massive. Golden. The Krellian Emperor's personal vessel. Emperor Thex himself appeared on screen. 7 feet tall. 4 arms covered in ceremonial armor. Commander Morrison, I challenge you to personal combat. If you win, we withdraw. If I win, Earth surrenders. Accepted, Jack said. Prepare the arena, the Emperor commanded. Jack turned to his crew. When I win, they'll think this is over. Isn't it? Rodriguez asked. Jack walked toward the transport bay. At the door, he stopped and looked back. You think this is our military? He smiled that cold smile again. These are our volunteers, civilians who signed up after Europa. Our real fleet hasn't even left dock yet. Rodriguez's face went white. How many ships do we really have? Jack stepped into the transport. Enough to burn the galaxy if we want to. The arena was a flat metal platform floating in space between the fleets. No weapons allowed, no armor, just 2 leaders fighting to decide the fate of billions. Jack stepped onto the platform wearing only a thin pressure suit. The Emperor stood opposite him. 8 feet tall, 4 muscled arms, purple skin covered in ritual scars. Representatives from 12 alien species watched from ships surrounding the arena. The Galactic Council had sent observers. This would be recorded in history. You fight well for a primitive species, Emperor Thex said, but you cannot win a war against the combined might of the galaxy. Jack said nothing. He circled the alien ruler, looking for weaknesses. The Emperor attacked first. His 4 arms moved in perfect coordination. Jack blocked the first punch but took the second in his ribs. Pain exploded through his chest. Broken bones. Jack stumbled back. The Emperor followed, confident. Your species is young, Thex said. You discovered faster-than-light travel only 50 years ago. We have ruled the stars for 10,000 years. Jack spat blood inside his helmet. Is that what you think? He dodged the next attack. His movements were different now. Precise, calculated. He caught one of the Emperor's arms and broke it at the joint. The Emperor roared in pain. Impossible. We discovered FTL travel 200 years ago, Jack said. He blocked another punch and broke a second arm. We've been watching, learning, hiding what we really are. The Emperor backed away. What are you saying? Humans nearly destroyed themselves in the past, Jack said. We fought 3 world wars. We built weapons that could crack planets. Then we realized what we were becoming. Jack moved forward. His attacks were brutal now, no wasted motion. The Emperor tried to defend himself with his remaining arms. Jack broke them both. We decided to be better, Jack said, to be peaceful, to follow rules, to be civilized. The Emperor fell to his knees. Mercy, I yield. Jack grabbed the alien by the throat. You killed our children. You forced us to remember what we really are. With a single twist, Jack broke the Emperor's neck. Silence filled the communication channels. Every alien watching had just seen a human kill the most powerful ruler in the galaxy with his bare hands. Jack looked up at the watching ships. Blood floated in droplets inside his helmet. We tried to be better. You wouldn't let us. He activated his comm. This is Commander Morrison to Earth Command. Execute final protocol. Space rippled. Thousands of jump points opened around Earth. 100,000 ships emerged. Not the black warships everyone had seen before. These were silver, sleek, beautiful, and terrible. What are those? A Zirath commander asked over the open channel. Our real fleet, Jack said. The weapons we hoped never to use. The silver ships fired, not missiles, not energy beams. They fired reality itself. Space twisted. Time bent. On every Krellian world, the sky turned inside out. Every Krellian planet burned simultaneously. Billions died in seconds. The Zirath fleet transmitted surrender signals. Every other alien race followed. 3 days later, the Galactic Council convened an emergency session. They offered humanity leadership of all civilized space, protection, resources, anything to prevent further destruction. Jack stood before them, still wearing his uniform, bloodstains still visible. We don't want to lead. We wanted to be left alone. You forced us to remind the universe why our ancestors built those weapons. He looked at each council member. 12 species, all afraid. We'll return to Earth. We'll rebuild Europa Station. We'll mourn our dead. And you will leave us alone. The council agreed instantly. Remember this, Jack said as he turned to leave. We chose to be civilized once. We can choose it again. Pray we never have to stop being civilized again. The galaxy entered a new age after that day. Not of human rule, but of absolute peace. Because every species now knew what happens when humanity stops following the rules it created to contain itself.